Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Clarity Sessions. We're excited to be able to have another important conversation in this one, and we hope that the lessons that you pick from this session will be very helpful to everyone that joins this session. For today, the topic that I'll be speaking about is communicating for the career you want. And basically, the idea for this topic is a lot of times what we see happen is that people hide in the notion of, oh, I don't want to be loud, I don't want to do this, and then opportunities and results kind of skip them because they've decided to stay silent and all. And so basically what we are trying to achieve with this session is to help excuse me, is to help people to be able to get noticed and to help people find their professional voice, to help them show up strategically, both online and offline, where the opportunities live, and to also help people also communicate their wins with confidence without feeling like you're bragging. There's that thin line between how can I share about the things I've done without feeling pushy, motivationally, or bragging, and to also build the reputation that works even when you're not in the room, that people can speak about you or for you even when you're not in the room. And that's that's the session, and that's what we're all about for today. In this session, we have Oluchi, who is going to take us. I'm just going to read some section of our bio. Oluchi is a content and media whiz with over 11 years of experience, spanning TV, film, print, and digital media across the tech and entertainment business. She has created and executed more than 2,900 pieces, content types, for leading brands such as Cadbury, Sound City, Spice TV, The Assembly, Nestle, On TV, The American Corner, and many others. She is most notable for creating and branding the supervision and production of Scoop, an entertainment news brand that became the most watched content in its time belt, attracting over 3.7 million daily viewers. And so Oluchi is experienced and has the knowledge to run us through this session. And without further ado, I would like to yield the floor to Oluchi to take us through the session. So thank you and welcome, Oluchi.
Thank you so much, Femi. It's my pleasure to be here. Please feel free at any time to let me know whether or not you can hear me. So this is going to be really interactive and short and sweet. So we'll just keep it straight to the point. I really like when I can consume content or learn things really fast. So, like I said, this is going to be really short and sweet, just a few minutes, and hopefully by the end of this session, we should be able to have all we need to communicate for the career that we want. Okay, so they will be able to leave this class with 4 things, and those things are what we need to consistently attract opportunities, uh, on and on and on. So it's not just about what you can do for this year. So whether you're just leaving school, whether you are just joining a new company, whether you're transitioning, whatever stage you are in your career, you should be able to apply these principles and experience some sort of progress and miracles hopefully. Okay, some of these tips we hopefully should know about them. So in that case, this will be some sort of a reminder as to this is what you should do, apply this formula and get this result um, consistently. Okay, let's start with our first page. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be really, really interactive. I would appreciate if I get answers. No answer is wrong. I like to say that there are no wrong answers, because even if you have a wrong answer and you say it and you get the right, no, this doesn't work, it means you got feedback. Okay, so our first exercise will be this, and I want everybody to participate. It won't take a lot of time. Think about the last person who got a promotion, or think about let's say you are a freelance. So I want to believe that we have a cross section of people, on professionals on this call. So we have freelancers, we have 9 to 5, we have entrepreneurs, whatever bracket you find yourself, this applies. Okay. So whether you're a freelance person, think about the last person who got a gig, the last freelance person who got a gig. If you're a 9 to 5, you work a 9 to 5. Think about a colleague who got a promotion, or think about that professional you admire on LinkedIn who got a promotion, right? Think about that person. I want a clear picture to form in your mind. So let's say you're watching this class after the live session is over. I want you to just pause and think. Why? Um, there's something I like to say. You cannot get what you don't know. So it first starts with a vision. If there's clarity, then you can achieve something. If there's no clarity, then you do not even know when you've achieved it, or when you hit something, or you hit a potential, or yes, this works or this doesn't work. So we need to have that clarity. Okay. So now that we have the picture of that person who is like, this is the picture of what I would like to do. The same way he or she got this promotion, I would also like to get a promotion like that. Or the same way this person was able to score this big client, I would also want to score this big client or this big gig. Now, the next question you need to ask yourself is this: what did they do differently? Did they communicate better? Did they show up more? Or did they make themselves more visible? There must be something that you are aware of that they do that makes them this successful, in quotes, right? Okay, so I'm not going to take any instances from anybody at the moment. We'll just go over to the next slide. But I want that picture. I want you to have that picture. Okay, I want you to have that picture. Now, how do you show your value? So how do you show your value? I would first like to say that it all boils down to your personal brand. I know personal branding is one term that I think a lot of people just think it's just this cliche term that people throw around on LinkedIn, on social media, and it's just like a buzzword. But it really is something that works. I am a living testimony of how effective a personal brand is. And I would like to also point out that personal branding is not a logo. It's not you having a favorite color that you show up with online. It's not a logo. It's not a color. It's not even a brand name. Your personal brand is the holistic experience that people have of you. And your personal brand, people can experience you at different touch points. So your personal brand is not just, oh, what you post online, it's also how you turn up at work, how you communicate, how you deliver. All of those elements will serve to give you that career that you want, or that progress that you are looking for. Okay. So again, personal branding is not color, is not posting content online or taking pictures. Personal branding is the holistic way you show online and offline, whether through your communication, through your email, through whatever it is that you however it is you want to interact with people. Okay. um because people don't always see the intent in your heart. You might think, oh, I'm the hardest worker, I am this, I am that. People don't always see that, right? They want to be able to experience you holistically. So again, how do you show your value? We've already mentioned that your success in work or business is not tied to, it's not just tied to how you show up online, it's tied to how you connect with people. So so you have to ask yourself is, do people know you? Do they know how good you are? When we talk about communicating for the career that you want, we are really talking about how you express your value, like I mentioned. So I'm now reading from the slide. Your personal brand is built in through conversations, through emails, through your presentations, and even how you show up in meetings and how you interact with others. People don't always see your hard work, they see what you communicate. Now we're going to see how all of these details tie into attracting opportunities to you or keeping you top of mind when certain opportunities come by. So let's go to the next slide, please. Okay. Let's just do a very short exercise now. So that exercise I mentioned earlier, I think this is the part where we need to do that, and I would really love if I can get feedback from anybody right now uh, online. So write down the people that matter most to your career right now. Clara just joined, or Clara left again. Okay, so write down the people that matter. I think we have someone here, Ochie. Hi, Ochie, can you hear me? You can just unmute so that I can. Okay.
Yes, yes, sure I can. Okay.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Okay,
meet you
so
too.
I would really love to hear from you. Uh, whether you're writing it down or off the top of your head, I need you to write down the people that matter most to your career right now. Who are the ones who can influence your next opportunities? So are you okay? Do you do it? Do you do a 9 to 5, or do you do a free? Are you a freelancer or are you an entrepreneur?
I am in between 9 to 5 and freelancing actually.
Okay, so I'm going to use you as a perfect example and hope that a lot of people can learn. So let's assume that you work in 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So who would you say matters to your career if you want to attract um the next big opportunity right now? Who would you say matters right now? Who can make that happen for you right now, off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, religiously, my mind, spiritually and religiously, my mind is saying God and me, but um, then myself and in reality, my my bosses and my
Okay, your bosses and your what?
my work.
Your work.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to throw the question now to, I think Clara just joined us. Hi, Clara. Clara, can you hear me? You can just unmute your mic and just say hi. Okay, nothing from Clara. I'll just pick one more person. Hi, Shola.
Hi,
It's
good
nice to,
evening.
good evening, Shola. It's nice to have you here with us. Do you
Thank
work in 9 to 5, or are you a freelancer, or are you a business person? You run a business.
I run a business and I work 9 to 5.
Awesome. So we have another person who works in 9 to 5. Now, if you were to attract the next big job, let's say a job that pays you up to like $5,000 or $10,000, um, who will you say can make that happen for you right now?
I don't get the question.
Okay, so for instance, let's say I work in 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
I also work in 9 to 5, right? Um, who can give me that opportunity where I get to earn my next big salary? If I want to say work in Microsoft or I want to work in Netflix, who can make that happen for me? That's the question.
I
Who
can
can
make
make
it
it
happen
happen?
for myself
Okay. But don't you
because
think
if
a
you don't
recruiter?
take that first step, nobody will do that for you.
Okay. Okay. So don't you think a recruiter online can make that happen for you?
Yes,
Or
they
as a
can.
business person, if your client can make that happen for you?
Yes.
Okay, so the essence of this session is to give you clarity on who can make your next big opportunity happen, right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you want to get a better job, you want to land a better job. The person who can most likely make that happen for you would be one, a recruiter online who comes across you online, or um, your colleague at work, or your boss, or somebody who knows that you do good work. Is that correct? Do you think that's what do you think?
Yes, very correct.
Okay, Oche, is that also correct?
Yes, that works too. That can work.
Okay, so apart from yourself and apart from God helping you to, score that, God will definitely use a human being to make that happen, right? So
Yes, sir.
now that we've established that if you have a 9 to 5, the person or the people who will most probably give you your next big opportunity uh, would be a recruiter, or would be a colleague, or would be somebody who would just refer you, because that happens a lot of times, right? So now the next question we need to ask ourselves would be, where will you find these people? So I hope you have written down, okay, let's say I work a 9 to 5. The person who can most likely give me my next big opportunity, it would be a HR manager, would be a client online, would be my boss, would be on and on like that, right? So the next question you ask yourself is, where will you most likely find these people? Now, if you work a 9 to 5, you most likely find these people online. You will most likely find them on LinkedIn. If you are targeting recruiters, you will most likely find them at work, your friends, your colleagues. And how do you interact with those people? Via email, right? One on one. You most likely find these people when you attend industry events. Okay. Would that be correct, Shola?
Yes, yes, I think
Would that
that's
be
true.
correct? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next question would be, how can you show up there consistently and meaningfully in such a way that you stand out and you can remain top of mind? That will be the next question. So this will lead us to the next big exercise which we are going to do. Um, and that exercise will help you not only clarify what exactly it is you do, but also how you should show up. So remember, the two key questions we have tackled now is, one, where do these people spend their time? If you have identified who these people are, right? you run a 9 to 5, you want to get a better opportunity, right? Who are the people that are going to make this happen for you? We already mentioned a HR manager, that's a recruiter. We also mentioned your colleagues or your manager or whatever. So now, the second question we asked is, how can you show up there consistently and meaningfully in such a way that you can now remain top of mind when these opportunities come? So let's go to the next slide. Can someone help with the next slide? Okay. So this is the framework you will need to attract opportunities consistently. So I like to call it the 4 C's of communicating for career acceleration. And if you can look at the structure, we have 4 C's. 1, clarity. 2, consistency. 3, connection. And the fourth one is credibility. So let's start with clarity. A lot of people don't know how to communicate what it is that they do. And by the end of this class, you should be able to know how to communicate what it is that you do in such a way that you win the other person over, and you attract opportunities to yourself. Now, I've attached a little example per category, so you can just try to replicate, and then so you can achieve progress. Okay. So clarity. How do you clearly articulate what you do in such a way that it matters? In such a way that um, someone says, "Hey, I want to work with you," or "I want you on this project that I am working on." So when I started out working as a TV producer, I had this desire after a few years. I had this desire I wanted to do more. I wanted to create content for businesses, not just entertainment brands, not just lifestyle brands. I wanted to work with like corporates, right? Because I think I did a gig and the money was pretty good. But I had a challenge. I didn't know how to communicate that, hey, I can do this really well because I've done it once before. Why? When people ask me, let's say I am having a conversation with the CEO of a consulting firm, and the person would ask, "What do you do?" And I would come back with, "I'm a TV producer." And at the end of the day, the person would just say, "Oh, impressive." And that's that. That was not the result I wanted. I wanted, "Oh, come and produce content for me." But for some reason, obviously, when people heard I'm a TV producer, what came to mind is, "Oh, where can I watch your content on TV? How can you get me on TV? I want to act." That was not what I was looking for at that moment. So what did I do? I changed the articulation of the value that I changed the articulation of the value that I give into, instead of saying I create TV shows or I shoot films, right? What I would say is I help brands create viral content to communicate the value that they offer so that they can concentrate on the business that they do. Or I help brands go viral. It roughly translates to what I do. I, with my team, I actually help brands go viral when I create content, right? So imagine imagine you are the CEO. You have a business that you really want to put out there. Which of these options would you go for? I'm a TV producer, or I help brands go viral. Which one would you connect with? Anybody can answer that question. Shola, do you want to try?
I would go for the one that said he or she helps a brand to be seen.
Go viral.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty clear and straightforward. Okay. So consistency, you have to show up regularly where your career gatekeepers are, whether they're online or in person. So I would take my example again. Now that I was able to score my first corporate client, but that was just one. I need to be able to score more of these clients. So where do I find uh, corporates figures who would be ready to pay me the kind of money that I am looking for? I'll most likely find them, guess where? On LinkedIn, right? I'll also most likely find them in their industry events. So, for instance, let's say I want to do a lot of finance companies. Where will I go to? Fairs where these people meet or conferences where these people turn up, right? So I have to turn up there consistently. I have to collaborate with the brands that, you know, that host. I have to collaborate with the brands that host these conferences, and I have to collaborate with the brands that host these conferences and all of that, and then turn up consistently, right? And once I was able to do that, I had my funnel open and hot. Now, connection is the third C that we talked about. Now that I know, I've been able to know where they turn up. How do I engage these people genuinely in such a way that it doesn't look transactional? It doesn't look like, oh, she's just trying to get something, right? So I do that by posting, addressing their pain points. So, for instance, if you're online, you can post content that makes you look human and makes you look capable. If you are attending industry events, you're not just walking up to someone and saying, "Hi, I want to create content for your brand." No, I'll tell you a trick that I do to connect with people when I attend physical meetings. I don't go around saying, this is what I do. I want you to patronize me, or I want you to, I want to work with you. I would listen to them. I would ask engaging questions. And, people like to talk a lot about themselves. That's one thing I noticed. So you ask probing questions. So what do you do? Or how is that? How you work at you're a banker? What's it like working in the finance industry these days? And they will just start talking. Oh, it's pretty difficult. We have this campaign, we're putting this out there, and that and that and that and that. And you will discover that the more that you ask questions and you build that relationship, you discover there's something, where to come in and where and when to pitch yourself. Okay, so that's with connecting. So when you listen to them thoughtfully, you know where to, you know come in and how to, make that connection. And then the fourth one is credibility. You have to show proof of your skill through projects, collaborations, testimonials, and thought pieces. I hope this is self-explanatory. So credibility. um So I'm going to now address Femi, who is the coordinator for this clarity session. This project alone is enough to say, I mean, the next time he's reaching out to me to say, "Oh, Oluchi, I want us to do the next big clarity fair," or "This is something that I am involved in," he doesn't need to introduce himself twice because I am aware of his project. No, it doesn't have to be like a big project, something just small, something that is impactful, uh, something that, there's a track record of oh, I run this and this is the impact I've been able to make. Once you're able to establish that, it gives you some kind of credibility so that when opportunities come, you are top of mind. Who runs clarity sessions really good in Nigeria for millennials and all of that? Who's going to come to my mind? Femi, right? So you have to be able to build that credibility either through collaborations, serve, go to these spaces where you know that these clients or your potential clients will be, and serve. So whether it's on LinkedIn, you have to post content that that will help people, that will address their pain points, and that gives you credibility. So these 4 C's, whether you are starting a new your career, or whether you've been, you are not exactly new, once you apply these 4, you will attract opportunities to yourself. Okay, let's go to the next page. Now, this is another exercise. I really do wish that we have enough time to take all of these exercises, but the good thing is you can play this session after now and pause at intervals and take all of these exercises. Okay, so like I said before, this particular exercise is just to help you articulate. So the way I was able to articulate, or instead of saying I'm a TV producer, or I'm a content creator, or I'm a film director, or I'm a communications, right now I'm a communications consultant, how do I clearly articulate what I do? So this same formula that you see on this page will help you clearly articulate what you do in such a way that the person, whoever it is you introduce yourself to, will be like, oh, I think I want to work with you. So look at the example on screen. Instead of saying I am a data analyst, you can say I help companies make smarter decisions by translating data into stories that drive action. Might look like a mouthful, but yeah, something as simple as this can help you score that next opportunity. Right, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this is where we have to be clear on the fact that it's not a one size fits all formula, right? So there's the reason I asked, are you do you run a 9 to 5? Are you a young professional? Are you just getting into the labor market, or are you a business owner? Okay, so let's look at the first category of job seekers and how they apply it. So how can they apply these the 4 C's? For job seekers, you can use LinkedIn. You can share value-driven opinions on your industry. You can comment intelligently on relevant posts, on and on and on like that. For young professionals, you can send monthly progress emails to your manager, summarizing what you accomplished, lessons learned, and priorities for the coming month. Now, remember that what I said, personal branding is not just about posting online. Personal branding refers to the entire perception, entire how do we perceive you, right? How do you work? How do you communicate? How do you deliver at work, right? So you can send monthly progress emails to your manager, summarizing what you have accomplished and the lessons learned and the priorities for the coming months. You can also volunteer for tasks and increase your visibility and, prove that you have initiative. That is for young professionals. For leaders and managers, you can communicate the vision simply and consistently to everyone so that everyone understands the goal and their roles. For entrepreneurs and business owners, you can tell stories that focus on customer transformation rather than just listing services. You can also build authority and trust through consistent value-driven content, case studies, and social proof online. So these are different touch points you can communicate your value to potential clients and or potential employers. Okay, so let's look at, I think this should be the end of the class. Okay, yeah, that will be correct. This is the end of my session. So I'll be taking questions now.
If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. Um, but I think that thank you so much. I think this was a very quick class to kind of push people into the conversations around why and how they should approach communicating, because the everywhere is a lot scattered. Everybody's trying to say on, particularly on LinkedIn, and so it's you can get a bit jaded from how you want to communicate and all of those type of things. So just having a structure on how to do that, or a deeper reason or how to do that, gives people a lot more confident on how to approach that as well. So yeah, I think this was really very helpful, and I think it would help a lot of people.
Okay, welcome. I haven't heard Clara's voice. Hi, Clara.
Hi, good
Not
evening.
taking Clara. Hi, good evening. So happy to hear your voice finally. Any question?
No, I don't have a question.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Shola, do you have any question?
No, ma'am. No
You
question.
okay. Awesome. So I think I'll hand the mic back to Femi so he can. Sorry.
Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, particularly Oluchi, for the time. This has been a very good session. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and I know that there will probably be more invitations in the future as we progress with this as well. So for me, I think it has been a very useful session. I know that it would be also extremely useful to the other people that would join the session as well, or listen to it later from today. So I just wanted to just say thank you, and thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you again, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Thank you, Oluchi. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.